Hey everyone! Welcome to Steven Universe, the show where we talk about the universe of Steven Universe. I'm your host, Victor Frost. The Steven Bomb, Steven's birthday, has come and gone, and now it's time for us to look at it and see what we've learned. If you haven't yet seen the episodes, The Answer, Steven's Birthday, It Could Have Been Great, Message Received, and Log 7152, now's your chance to pause this video, go watch those, then come back. Don't worry, we'll wait. This is your spoiler alert. New episodes, new lore. Let's see what we learned. So because I jumped formats in dealing with this Steven Bomb midway, I already covered in previous videos some of what I would be covering here. So here's what we're going to do. If you've already watched the last two episodes of this show where I talked about The Answer and Steven's birthday, just sit tight. If you haven't, go back and watch those now by clicking the YouTube card up in the corner here. Don't worry, I'll give you some time to pause this video. This mug was a Secret Santa gift for me. It's got a nice iced tea stain around the inside of it. So I'm performing at a convention this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking about live streaming my panels. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm actually testing the streaming mechanism right now. That's about enough time, you think? Yeah? Yeah. All right. Right then, let's get on with the show. So the big reason I prefer looking at Steven Bombs as a singular item is because it really gives you a solid idea of what the theme of it actually is. Because the crew have this great habit of building up the theme of an arc across multiple episodes, being the good writers that they are. Now, I've used that word pretty liberally in the past, but so that we're all on the same page, I'm going to take a minute and explain what a theme actually is. No, bad show, no, go back. Oh, come on. You are my favorite show, I promise. You will get an episode very soon. Okay, alright. A theme is the main subject that's being discussed or described in a piece of writing, a movie, a theatrical play, etc. It's the meaning, the life lesson, the moral of the story.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
Themes don't have plot details or characters in them because they're abstract observations or ideas that can be applied to anybody or anything, because they're bigger than the specific story or characters you could be seeing them apply to. They can be as simple or as complicated as you like, and what the theme is can depend on who's watching. Because of this, it can be a pretty nebulous thing what a theme is. What it isn't, though, is one word. For example, the theme of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic would not be friendship. That's the subject or topic. Themes are comments or observations about the topic. So in this example, the theme might be, by drawing on the strength and support of friends, one can overcome the challenges they would not be able to on their own. Or, friendship is a worthwhile pursuit for anyone seeking a more colorful and vibrant life. Or, friendship is magic. Yeah, sometimes the theme of a work is super obvious. To find the theme, there are a few good places you can look. You can look at the protagonist's journey, see how they've changed over time, and see if the lessons they've learned can be an analog for society writ large. For example, in the movie Expelled from Paradise, the main character, Angela, learns that just because the society she grew up in has its opinions of what is and isn't important, doesn't mean those things deemed unimportant are truly without value. On a generalized level, this relates to the self-censorship often created in societies due to the subtle and gradually accumulated cultural biases that form over time. You can also look at the central conflict in the story and see which of the opposing forces wins out and why. The forces in this type of approach are abstract. For example, in the Cold War, the forces wouldn't be the US versus Russia, but democracy versus communism. And in the 1984 movie The Terminator, the two forces were man and machine, with the theme, in my opinion, being that the adaptability of man will always outpace that of machines. Finally, the work itself can just tell you the theme directly. A more general way of saying that can actually be pulled from the Bible. In Matthew 12:25, Jesus says to the Pharisees, "Any kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and any city or house divided against itself will not stand." If you're all on the same team, you can't have a secret team. So what was the theme of this Stephen bomb? Well, to find out, we need to look at the principal events that take place in each episode. We need to distill their plots down to their essence. In the answer, we hear the story of how Sapphire and Ruby came to become Garnet, and how this change was a major development in their life. In Stephen's birthday, Stephen realizes that, in a way, he stayed static while the people in his life, and indeed the world around him, have been constantly changing. And we watch him dealing with that realization and ultimately learning from his efforts to effect extreme change upon himself. In It Could Have Been Great and Message Received, which I'm counting as one episode because, come on. We find that Peridot's reasons for wanting to stop the cluster are no longer just to save her own skin, but to save the life on Earth and all of its uniqueness, going so far as to go against the will of Yellow Diamond, which required a fundamental change in her core beliefs about the Diamond Authority. We also see Stephen coming to the understanding that not everyone will change just because he really wants them to. And finally, in Log 7152, we follow Peridot through her log recordings, chronicling her adjustment to life on Earth and her gradual change from being openly antagonistic with the gems to her appreciation and attempts at understanding. So what, if anything, is the theme? Well, a good place to start is the one-word common across all the summaries of the episodes: change. In every episode, the principal characters each wrestled with and/or underwent change. Ruby and Sapphire not only changed into Garnet and had to deal with the existential ramifications of that, but their entire life changed when they effectively became outcasts of Gem Society by absconding together. Stephen, in trying to deal with his belief that he wasn't changing enough, tried to force the kind of change that should happen at a natural pace, resulting in it backfiring and him eventually coming to terms with it. In the flashbacks of Log 7152 and the beginning of It Could Have Been Great, Peridot gradually underwent the change that led to her eventually betraying Yellow Diamond in favor of protecting Stephen, the gems, and the Earth. And at the end of Message Received and the beginning of Log 7152, she is freaking out from the realization of what she's done, surprised at her own actions, which only weeks before would have been utterly unconscionable. All of this adds up to what I believe to be the theme of this Stephen bomb. That being, change is an inevitable, natural part of life, whose pace and path you can neither truly force nor predict. That's it for this episode of Steven Universe. Next week, I'm going to be more or less recovering from Anime Los Angeles. Video about that soon. In the meantime, though, there will be an episode of Behind the Screen going up, another episode of Sounds of the Commons, and another review podcast on my newest project, 52 Films, where me and my friend Derek will be reviewing 52 movies in 1 year. So with that, I'm Victor Frost, and I'll see you next time on Steven Universe.